Hello friends, welcome to C++ programming video tutorials series. In this video tutorial, I would like to discuss a range of data types in C++. We understand how to find and display range of data types in C++. In the previous video tutorials, we understood that data type indicates type of data. Int data type indicates integer type data, that is whole numbers without decimal point. Float and double data types indicate real type data, that is real numbers or fractional numbers containing decimal point. Char and wide char data types indicate character type data, that is a symbol enclosed in between pair of single quotations. Bool data type indicates boolean values, true or false. Wide data type indicates valueless data type, it indicates nothing, guys. In the previous video tutorial, we understood that data type not only indicates type of data, it also indicates the amount of memory to be allocated for specific type of data. We know that computer allocates 4 or 2 bytes of memory for integer type data. For float type data, computer allocates 4 bytes of memory. For double type data, computer allocates 8 bytes of memory. For char type data, computer allocates 1 byte memory. For wide char type data, computer allocates 2 bytes of memory. For bool type data, computer allocates 1 byte memory. And for wide data type, it allocates either 0 or 1 byte memory. Data type not only indicates type of data and the amount of memory to be allocated for specific type of data, it also indicates the range of values possible to store inside that specific type of allocated memory, guys. Data type not only indicates type of data and the amount of memory to be allocated for specific type of data, it also indicates the range of values possible to store in that specific type of allocated memory, guys. If computer allocates 2 bytes of integer type memory, inside that memory we can store 65,536 values, guys. How do we say exactly 65,536 values? Let me explain. 2 bytes is equal to 16 bits. 2 bytes is equal to 16 bits. If I say 2 raised to the power of 16, it is going to become 65,536. That is the reason I am saying that inside 2 bytes of integer type memory, we can store 65,536 values, guys. If I divide that number by 2, if I make it half, it is going to become 32,768. That means the minimum value possible to store inside 2 bytes of integer type memory is minus 32,768, guys. And the maximum value possible to store inside 2 bytes of integer type memory is plus 32,767. If you count from minus 32,768 to plus 32,767, it is going to become 65,536, guys. I hope you guys have clearly understood. If computer allocates 4 bytes of integer type memory, inside that memory we can store 4,294,967,296 values, guys. How do we say exactly 4,294,967,296 values? Let me explain. 4 bytes is equal to 32 bits, guys. If I say here 2 raised to the power of 32, it is going to become 4,294,967,296. That is the reason I am saying that inside 4 bytes of integer type memory, we can store 4,294,967,296 values, guys. If I divide it by 2, it is going to become 2,147,483,648. That is, inside 4 bytes of integer type memory, we can store the minimum value minus 2,147,483,648, guys. The minimum value possible to store inside 4 bytes of integer type memory is minus 147,483,648, and the maximum value possible to store inside 4 bytes of integer type memory is 2,147,483,647, guys. Let's go to code block and display the minimum value possible and the maximum value possible to store inside 4 bytes of integer type memory, because inside our computer system for integer type data, computer allocates 4 bytes of memory, guys. I minimize the word. I double click on code blocks icon to launch the code blocks IDE. You can see that code blocks IDE is launched. I'm going to create one new project. I say file, new project. I select here projects, say console application, say go. Then I say next. I select C++ language. I say next. Then I give the project name range of data types demo. I say next, say finish. You can see that range of data types demo project is created. I click on the plus sign. I double click on main.cpp to open. You can see that main.cpp file is open. If I say build and run, we know that the program execution begins at main function. Cout displays hello world exclamation mark in the console window, and endl moves the cursor to the next line. Return 0 sends 0 to the operating system, telling that the program has executed successfully, and then the program execution ends. I say build and run. You can see that hello world exclamation mark is displayed. I hit enter to close the console window. Instead of displaying hello world exclamation mark, this time I say int min equal to. If I say build and run, it displays int min equal to. In front of int min equal to, I want to display the minimum value possible to store inside 4 bytes of integer type memory, guys. I hit enter to close the console window. What I do, I take help of predefined constants. There are predefined constants which store the minimum value and the maximum value for different types of data types, guys. Here I say int underscore min. So there is a constant called int underscore min, guys. I say insertion operator. Int min, if I right click on it, say find declaration of int min, it is declared inside limits.h file, guys. To use this inside my program, I have to include limits.h. I say here hash include limits.h. If I say build and run, you can see that it is displaying int min equal to minus 2,147,483,648, and the same thing we have here, right? You can compare minus 2,147,483,648. I hit enter to close the console window. Next we display maximum value possible to store inside 4 bytes of integer memory. I'm going to copy this line of code and paste down. Here I say int max. Instead of min, we use here max, guys. If I say build and run, it is displaying int max equal to 2,147,483,647, and the same thing you see here. You can compare. We have 2,147,483,647. So we have successfully displayed the minimum value possible to store and the maximum value possible to store inside 4 bytes of integer type memory. I hit enter to close the console window. I go back to code block. If I say here cout, if I say size of int, I say here endl semicolon, definitely we will get here 4, guys. If I say build and run, you can see that it is displaying 4, because inside my computer system for integer type data, computer allocates 4 bytes of memory location, guys. Understanding? I'm going to delete this line of code. Next we have float. Inside float type memory, the minimum value possible to store is 1.17549 e minus 38, guys. Let me display this. I go here, I say cout, in double quotations I say float min equal to, I use the insertion operator, I use flt underscore min constant, then I say endl semicolon. Flt min is actually defined or declared inside floats.h header file, guys. I have to include it. I say here hash include float.h. If I say build and run, you can see that it is displaying float min equal to 1.17549 E minus 038. The same thing you see here also, the same thing I have written in this place. You can compare 1.17549 E minus 038, which is actually equal to 1.17549 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 38, guys. I hit enter to close the console window. Next we display the maximum value possible to store inside float type memory, which is 3.40282 E plus 38. I'm going to copy this line of code and paste down. Here I say float max, and same thing I do here, float max. If I say build and run, you can see that it is displaying float max equal to 3.40282 E plus 038, which is actually equal to 3.40282 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of plus 38, guys. I hit enter to close the console window. Next we understand how do we display the minimum value possible to store inside double type memory. And the minimum value possible to store inside double type memory is 2.22507 E minus 308, guys. I go here, I am going to copy this line of code and paste down. Here I say double min, and we use the constant dbl underscore min. If I say build and run, you can see that it is displaying 2.22507 E minus 308, which is actually equal to 2.22507 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 308, guys. I hit enter to close the console window. In the same way, we can display the maximum value possible. I say here double dbl underscore max, and here I write max. If I say build and run, you can see that it is displaying double max equal to 1.79769 E plus 308. And if you see, same thing I have written in this place, you can compare 1.79769 E plus 308, which is actually equal to 1.79769 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of plus 308, guys. I hit enter to close the console window. Next we display the minimum value possible to store inside char type memory. I am going to copy this line of code and paste here. Here I say char min, and I use the constant char, guys, char min. If I say build and run, it is displaying minus 128. I hit enter to close the console window. Here I say char. In the same way, I display the char max. Copy paste. I say here char max. Here I say char max. If I say build and run, you can see that it is displaying 127. And you can compare the same thing I have written here. Minimum value possible to store is minus 128. Maximum value possible to store is 127. I hit enter to close the console window. Next we display for void char. I am going to copy these lines of code and paste down. Here I say w char underscore t. Here I say w char underscore t. We use w char min and w char max, guys. If I say build and run, you can see that it is telling the minimum value possible to store inside void char t type memory is 0, and the maximum value possible to store inside void char t type memory is 65,535, and same thing we have written here 0, 65,535. I go back here, I hit enter to close the console window. I'm going to copy these two lines of codes and paste down. Next we have bool data type. I say here bool. There are no constants defined for the bool data type, so we can simply say here bool min 0 and bool max 1, guys. If I say build and run, it is going to display bool min is 0, bool max is 1. And one of the most important thing you should remember that any non-zero value is converted to 1. That means inside the boolean type memory, you can store any non-zero value. You can store 10, 20, minus 30, 40, but they are automatically implicitly converted to 1, guys. That means the maximum value possible to store inside the bool type memory is 1, and the minimum value possible to store inside the bool type memory is 0 guys. And void is anyhow valueless, we can't display anything. Also I discussed about precision of float and double. We know that float type data can have after the decimal point 6 digit and double type data can have after the decimal point 15 digits. Let me show that. Here I say cout, I say endl, I am adding one blank line guys, and then I say here cout, in double quotations I say float precision is equal to, I use the insertion operator, and then I say here flt dig, then I say endl. So it holds how many digits after the decimal point a float data can have. If I say build and run, it is displaying 6, you can see that. That means float type number can have 6 digits after the decimal point. I hit enter to close the console window. I'm going to copy this line of code and paste down. Here I say double precision, and here I use dbl-dig. If I say build and run, it is displaying 15. That means a double type number can have 15 digits after the decimal point. I told you that while evaluating an expression, if you want to get more accurate result, then you take help of double data type instead of float data type, right guys? I hit enter to close the console window. I hope you guys have clearly understood the range of values possible to store inside a specific type of allocated memory. I think for this video tutorial, this much is enough friends. I suggest you people to watch this video again and again, understand everything clearly. Try this code yourself, experiment with more examples. In the upcoming video tutorials, we are going to discuss more about data types in C++ language. If you like this video, hit the like button and share with your friends so that everyone will get benefited guys. For more benefits and be up to date, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.